Welcome to the Command Center tutorial video exclusively for Lawn Doctor customers. As you see, we are currently in the Command Center right now. If you don't have a login or you're unsure whether you have a password and login ID to get into Command Center, you can contact us here at Real Green, the AMA department, either Carl or myself, and we'll get you set up. So basically, we're going to go into the AMA portion of the Command Center. First thing you'll see is a little bit of analytics here telling you how many various emails you have sent out in the past month. Okay. There's also a gallery that you can click on and look at the various templates that we have for various emails. There are upsell emails, there are newsletter emails, and there are, I think all the way at the bottom here, the upsells are called generic, and the newsletters would be titled as newsletter. Now, rather than look through all of those, you could filter them by categories. Now, some of the templates are hard-coded, meaning they already have the text in the email and you can't overwrite that. Others are what we call edit, which allows you to pick whatever letter you want to create to put into the email as the text. For instance, if we take a look here at some mosquito templates that are hard-coded, and I open one of them up as a preview, you will see the text is already in there. Okay. Now if I picked one that is editable, I see this fake Latin here as a placeholder, and that's where my letter text would appear. So either go with your own letter text or go with the corporate text that's provided. I'm going to go ahead and do a mosquito edit one. That's what I'm going to decide to do. So to start that off, as long as we're talking about templates, let me talk about this first. This is a new option we have called New Template. This actually lets you go in here and create your own template. You can edit these, and then clicking on various areas, you can change their settings. For instance, if you wanted a different font there, or you want to load up your own image right here, I could go up here, go to my images, browse the server. Here's one. Little picture of a beaker. Okay, be careful about the images that you use in there. You don't want to just pull images off the internet. They may be copyrighted and you could end up getting into some trouble. So you want to make sure you either have an image that you took with a camera or that you have purchased from a graphics licensing house. That's usually the best way to do it. Once you've given your template a name, put in a description, you're able to hit proof. That will then send the notification over to us that you have this template that you'd like tested and approved. We run it through a variety of tests to make sure that it's a robust email, that it low chance of it being marked as spam, and then we'll approve it. It will then become a template for you to choose in your system. Going back to my original screen here. Another feature that we have here when you go into the main system is it'll actually show you customers of yours who have opened various emails. If I click on any of these little teardrop shapes, I can see there is Joe Stornelli, and I can actually view what email he just opened up. You got a service summary telling him about the service call that was performed. Okay. Now, to actually start sending out your emails, you start off with the scheduler. When I go to scheduler, I'll see that I have two campaigns already set up here, both going out next Monday, okay? But we're going to go through another one just to show you exactly how to set these up. So we go over to this button, New Campaign. Here's where we pick our template again. And again, I can filter these to say I just want to see the mosquito edit, and that's one that's available. So I'll go ahead and click Schedule portion. I don't need to view the template. It asks me what date I want this to go out on. I'm just going to pick next Monday as well. Then you move on to filters. This is deciding who's going to get this particular email. So I'm going to send this to my active and always active customers. I could use flags to either include or exclude people. For instance, you may have a do not email, do not upsell flag. I'd want to use that. Next, I want to make sure that I don't send this to anyone who already has my mosquito program or my Yardarmor program. I'm going to go with the Yardarmor package here. Oh, actually, nope, those are rounds. I guess I'll go with the package because that's a program. Okay. Under More, I could decide to only send to residential. I could use a size range. I could include group billing. It's very rare that that happens, but it can be done. Once I have all the different filters that I want, I then move on to my next step, which is services. Now this is where I want to pick that Yardarmor program. And that is not it. There it is at the bottom. Okay, so obviously this is a 3-round Yardarmor package. Now you can apply a discount to any round or all the rounds. What you want to keep in mind is it may be too late to do the first round. So if you applied your discount there, it would not show up. It wouldn't actually happen. I like to make sure I keep my customer with me till the end, so I give them their discount on the last round. So I'm going to say I'm going to give them a 15% off custom care. Then I'm going to go to my next step, which is content. Now this is where I pick the letter text that's going to appear on the email. Remember, if I had a hard-coded template, no matter what I pick here, and you do have to pick something, it would not print that letter. It would print whatever the corporate hard-coded text is. But we chose an editable letter, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to grab my upsell mosquito. Okay. Here's another new feature we have. You may have a misspelling here, or you want an incorrect date or something. You can actually edit this before you send it out. You can add the text, change whatever, hit save, and it'll keep that update. Here's your next step, next and last step, proofing. Now, the proofs with Lawn Doctor take a long time to show up. So I'm just going to jump over to where I already loaded up a proof. Now this one was for aeration, but this is what it will finally show me. Here's the proof. It has the Lawn Doctor logo incorporated. It has the template that I chose for this. Has the service. Then over here, because they still have a valid prepay or discount, they're showing you're getting that $750 off, that 15% discount off, and that the final price is $67.50. Now, if there was a prepay still open and valid, it could also show them what they would save if they wanted to prepay. The customer then has two choices here. He can want more information button, which would put a call into your call log letting you know that the customer would like more information on core aeration. Or they could click the Order Now button, which also puts a call into your call log letting you know that this customer wants to order core aeration. Now we're working with programming on this, and what we want to eventually do here is this button would send your customer to the CAW where they could go ahead and just order that service. that will be taking effect sometime in the future. Okay? As you see, this one still hasn't showed up. It takes a long time to show the proofs, basically because Lawn Doctor has so many different templates that the system's looking through everything to make sure it gets all the right data on the right template. It will eventually show this preview, just like I'm showing you a preview on this screen. But we could be sitting here for 5 minutes before it actually shows up, and I don't want to waste your time at that point. So I'm just going to tell, now if this was completed, let me go here to my preview. I like everything I see, I want it to go. I approve it by clicking the Approve All button up here, and finally hitting the Submit button down here. That will create this one ready to go. In fact, let's go ahead and approve it. Submit. Now if you notice, here's the one we just created. Its status is a blue clock. That means it's scheduled. These two have yellow cautions. Means not approved. So I could go into those and remove them, which I'm going to do now. I just say I want to delete it. Yes. And I go ahead and delete this one. And I'm left with the one that I set up and is ready to go. Now, until that date arrives, I could come in here and do further editing. I could remove this, also delete it, whatever I want to do there. Once that date arrives, though, you cannot go in there anymore to do anything, but that's natural. There's no reason to at that point. Okay, now newsletters are very similar. You do the same thing. You say New Campaign, and again, I could go up here and say that I want to just look at my newsletters. Lawn Doctor only has one. Schedule. Pick the day I want. Pretty much the same thing so far. Who gets it? Active. But I probably don't need anything about program codes. I'm not upselling anything. I'm sending out a newsletter. So I'm just going to move on and go to Content. Pick the letter that I would like to send them. I'll use a confirmation text just for giggles. Proofing, and that's it. So a newsletter is very simple. You've only got 4 choices and you're into the proof of the newsletter. See, newsletters work much faster because there aren't that many of them. So here's my newsletter. It's got that template incorporated. There's the text I picked, and it's showing a upsell from my CAW. And it's that easy. Again, I could approve this. I could then submit it. Let's say I don't want to approve. I want to come back and maybe do some editing on this later. Just come up to this X, close out of it. I'm going to refresh my screen, and you will see there's the newsletter. Not ready to go. It's not approved. And I can, just like anything else, go into Manage and edit this further if I wish. Well, that concludes the tutorial for Command Center. Remember, if you need any help getting into Command Center, or you need any help using the Command Center, just contact Carl or myself, David, at the AMA department, and we'll get you all straightened out. I'd like to thank you for taking the time and viewing this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.